It's really hot right now. This is why I am naked. And I want to talk about a gospel that is lost in the canonical aspects of Bible. The Bible has four main gospels: Gospels of Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John. But there is a gospel that is hidden, that was rejected by the early Christian bishops, and that is known as the Gospel of Thomas. Why did these bishops reject this gospel? Because Christianity, the modern Christianity that is all around the world, is based on a mere belief. People have to just nod their head and just listen to what the scriptures say. But what these gospels that were rejected by the early Christian beliefs consist of is the direct religious experience of the author. These gospels are very mystical, are very esoteric in nature compared to the gospel that is present in the modern day Bible. Now, I don't want to demean the Bible that we have right now, but I do want to emphasize that you need to have a direct religious experience in order to truly understand the divinity that lies within you. Because when you understand the divinity that lies within you, you gain absolute freedom from all sorts of mental pain. You do not have to be afflicted with mental pain. You do not have to suffer because of your panic attacks and anxiety. If your girlfriend left you for another guy and she insulted you, forget about that, because if you have a direct religious experience, then she will start to say to her friends, guys, Mark just became the man of my dreams. And now the sad part is I cannot have him. If you're wondering who I am, I used to suffer from panic attacks 4 years ago when I was training to become a doctor in medical school in Nepal. I had a reputation to protect, I had a career to build, and all of this pressure severely destroyed me. But I didn't want to go to therapy sessions or buy anxiety pills because I knew that they were not going to solve the root cause. This is why I started to turn inwards, because I wanted to have a direct religious experience. I wanted to understand the consciousness, the divinity within me. I wanted to understand the power of my mind. I wanted to understand spirituality. This is why I studied spiritual mentors from the West, like Neville Goddard, Joe Dispenza. And of course, I am from East, so I studied a lot of spiritual mystics from the East, like Vivekananda Osho. And within just 5 months, my panic attacks vanished. When I started out, I could not sit still for 1 minute. But still, I managed to completely eliminate panic attacks from my life. So, if you can sit still even for 1 minute, you're actually doing better than I was. And that means you can heal your panic attacks faster than I did if you truly listen to what I tell you in this video. I am going to tell you in this video about how to understand, how to truly have a religious experience. The first thing that you must understand is your mind is a monkey mind. It has the characteristic of a monkey. It either goes to the past traumatic events right now, or it either goes to the future anticipatory scenarios. That is the worst possible cases scenario for you. Now, what you have to do is, through repeated practice, you have to center your attention, you have to center your mind to become completely present at the present moment. That is the first step in order to have a direct religious experience. Of course, people are going to say that you are a heretic, but who cares? Who cares if you truly heal panic attacks, right? And the way to bring your mind to the present moment is through the practice of Yoga Nidra. People like Dr. Andrew Huberman have been calling Yoga Nidra as non-sleep deep rest protocol, but it is just Yoga Nidra. What happens is, in Yoga Nidra, you rotate your attention one by one all over your body parts until you achieve a state of sleepiness or relaxation. And when that happens, your brain starts to create these slow, coherent alpha waves and theta waves. Right now, you're watching me through a video form and you're gathering information from me, and your brain is producing beta waves. If you're super stressed, when your brain is anxious, when you're having panic attacks, your brain is producing high beta waves. But when you do yoga nidra, your brain will be producing slow, coherent alpha waves and theta waves. Alpha waves helps your brain to become very creative in nature. When your brain is producing alpha waves, your brain can easily visualize things, easily imagine things. And theta waves are brilliant, beautiful waves. Because when a child is born and up until he reaches the age of 8 to 9, his brain is primarily producing theta waves. What that means is during these 7 to 8 years, the child is very suggestible, is very hypnotizable. A child observes the behavior of his parents. He learns the emotional pattern of his parents and society members. He learns the limiting belief of his parents, society members, and from schooling. Everything is programmed in his subconscious mind during these formative 7 to 8 years. Then he grows up to become a member of the society. Then he becomes sick because everyone in the society is sick as well. But now you have a tool to produce theta waves again and to write new programs in your subconscious mind. Now is the time to eliminate the sickness that has been programmed within you. Of course, theta waves are not only created when you do yoga nidra. As you go to sleep at night, your brain waves will naturally slow down from high beta to alpha to theta to delta. But sleep is a very unconscious process. However, yoga nidra is a conscious process. You're consciously producing theta waves so that you can write new programs in your subconscious mind. Now, after you do yoga nidra, you're centered in the present moment. Now you're connected to the divinity within you. Now you're connected to the source energy. Now you're connected to the spirit. And what bothers me in this modern world is nobody talks about how this entire universe is not actually material, it is completely spiritual. Because this has already been proven by modern physics as well. A very reputed scientific journal has already declared that this universe is entirely spiritual and mental. Now, what that means is you are a manifestation of spirit or source energy. I am a manifestation of spirit or source energy. Everything that you can perceive in this world is a manifestation of that source energy. So what that means is, in order to find happiness, love, wealth, health, freedom from panic attacks, you do not have to go out into this world and chase them, because chasing happens in a material universe. Only in a material universe there is a distance between you and what you want, you and another object. But in a spiritual universe, in a true essence, everything is within you. Everything that you want is within you. Freedom from panic attacks is within you. That is what you must understand. This is why you need to do yoga nidra first, because when you do yoga nidra, you're then connected to that source energy. You are now feeling that divine presence within you. You are now ready to create the life of your dreams. Now that you are connected to the source energy after doing yoga nidra, what you're going to do is you have to create an imaginal act that signifies that you are now completely living a life that is free from panic attacks and everything is turning out wonderful for you. In these imaginal act, you involve all the sensory vividness to the imaginal act to trick your brain that all this imaginal act is actually happening to you in real time. For example, you do all the things that you currently cannot do right now because you're inflicted with panic attacks. Maybe you're not dating right now, so start to date a beautiful girl in your imaginal scene. Start to touch her hair. Start to smell her perfume. Start to kiss her. Start to see her beauty. Start to hear that girl say to you amazing things like, wow, you're so peaceful, you're so powerful as a person. Start to hear your friends and family say to you, "Oh my God, John, you have become so peaceful and relaxed all of a sudden." When you start to create all of this imaginal act and provide all the sensory vividness to it, your brain will start to create neural networks that reflect like all these things are actually happening to you in real time. Now, your brain will start to send a rush of chemicals down your body. You're going to feel the feelings that are related to your imaginal act. Because you have imagined wonderful things happening to you, like you are walking into a room that previously used to trigger your panic attacks, but now in your imaginal act, you're taking charge of that room, you're acting confidently, you're cracking jokes, you're saying to your well-wishers, "Guys, you do not have to worry about me, I'm completely fine." You're going to feel the equivalent emotions of joy, gratitude, and empowerment. Now that is a religious experience. Simply by closing your eyes, simply by using your imaginal act, simply by using your attention on the desired imaginal act, simply by relaxing through yoga nidra, you have created feelings in your body that uplifts you. You have created the elevated emotions of joy and empowerment and gratitude. This is the highest freedom that you can achieve in your life, because you do not have to rely on the external circumstances in order to feel the feelings within. Because right now, your feelings are dependent on your external circumstances. When your external circumstance is bad, you feel bad. But now you have the tool to, to, to feel the elevated emotions irrespective of whatever your external circumstances say. This is the way to create direct religious experience. Be a heretic, be a rebel, and heal your panic attacks. Now, if you want one-to-one online personalized coaching from me, then message me on my Gmail or my WhatsApp, which are linked in the description box down below and the pinned comment section down below. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.